Oh my gosh, that's nostalgic.
What was it called again? Is that still a thing? I remember those ages.
When last? Oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago.
And this is the first episode of the Mandela Effect. My name is Zara Brito. I am the host of the show where we talk about everything and everything South African. Now, like I said, my name is Zara Brito. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about Afrikaans, its language, where it comes from. Is it fading out? How do the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren feel about it? And will it still be a thing in the future of South Africa? We are joined by our two lovely guests. And we are just going to go straight into it with first figuring out, is that still a thing? And what I'm talking about right now is load shedding. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but the lights are on, everything is on at home. Load shedding has been suspended and it might as well be expelled for the last 250 days, starting just before the national elections has started. Started in March of 2024, we have had no load shedding issues. However, in the city of Joburg, they have a thing called load reduction. Now, what are we talking about? As a Cape Town resident, I don't know what that means. But according to people from Joburg, load reduction means that if your one appliance does work, your other one isn't. So your kettle might work, but your geyser and your aircon might not work at all. Which is like not the best if you were planning on having a nice, warm, relaxing bath after work at 6 o'clock when you get home. However, this isn't the case for all Joburgers, because in Cape Town we have similar issues. Just like in Kraaifontein, they have had substations turned off whole of yesterday. No lights, no nothing. The whole of Kraaifontein and Brackenfell dead. No Wi-Fi, no signal, no nothing. But let's get back into what needs Wi-Fi. Cell phones. We all have these little things in our hands, but some people are starting to discard the regular schmegular touchscreen phone, and we are looking back to flip phones. What am I talking about? Why would we go back to flip phones? Flip phones are making a comeback with a company making a Barbie flip phone. No social media, no nothing. It's nothing like the Samsung Galaxy, but it is everything and more. But we are going to get into it with our fabulous guests over here, Constance and Nuran. And I want to know, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Like, please.
I am Constance, and I'm from the Cape Flats, Mitchell's Plain, where I grew up since I was age 5, and currently I'm self-employed entrepreneur.
And you, Nuran?
I'm Nuran, and I grew up in Portland's Mitchell's Plain, where I've been living my whole life. And I'm currently working as an oral hygienist at Red Cross Children's Hospital.
Beautiful. So what's Afrikaans like for you guys at home? How did you grow up with it? What is it like?
For myself, I grew up with Afrikaans as the second language at my schools. But there were some schools that had Afrikaans as first language. I had friends who were first language Afrikaans and I was English. So I had the best of both worlds. Also in my home with my parents, it was the same, where my father was Afrikaans and my mother was English.
And Nuran, what was it like for you?
For me, I grew up with English as my first language and Afrikaans as my second language. Both of my parents grew up in the Cape Flats in Manenberg, where they spoke Afrikaans all the time. So they would speak in Afrikaans with one another and to us, and we would just respond to them in English.
What is that like having that language barrier but still being able to understand what they were saying?
For me, I always thought it was so cool, like I could understand a different language. But when it came to school and I had to learn Afrikaans in school, it kind of felt a bit discouraging, because even though I understood the language, I couldn't speak it. And a lot of the times I'd be like, I'm going to go learn Afrikaans on Sibdelan on the TV show.
I love telling the same thing.
I would learn from there, and I would try to pick up from what my parents would tell one another and formulate sentences from there on.
Okay. When we come back, we are going to get into the topic a little bit more, asking about the death of Afrikaans and how they feel about Afrikaans in the future. And we will be back after the break.
Oh my gosh, that's nostalgic.
What was it called again? Is that still a thing? I remember those ages.
When last? Oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Oh my gosh, that's nostalgic.
What was it called again? Is that still a thing? I remember those ages.
When last?
Oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago.
And you're back with the Mandela Effect here with your host, Sarah Brito. Hi. And we are here with Constance and Nuran, and we are speaking about everything Afrikaans. So tell me, Nuran, growing up in that household, like you said, your parents were Afrikaans and you were English, did they want you to be an English child? Or how was it? What was it like for you?
With my mother specifically, I remember she would tell us that because she grew up speaking Afrikaans, she always felt like it was a disadvantage for her having English be a second language. And she said, no, I want my kids to grow up speaking in English for learning purposes and for school, whereas my dad wanted us to speak in Afrikaans. And my mother today, she's very grateful she made that choice because our whole schooling system basically that I went to was in English. So she is very proud, and I'm also grateful that English is my first language.
So you being a parent, being in the same boat, you have previously said to me that your children are also, they understand Afrikaans, some of them can speak Afrikaans, but they are predominantly English. What led you to that decision to just do English for them?
So the reason why I chose to have them do English as their first language is because I was thinking in terms of the future. If they were to decide to move abroad, then Afrikaans is not quite predominant in other countries. English is the language, an international language. So that was my concern. And also for going to, when they're studying now at the university, it's also predominantly English, depending on if you're going to a predominantly Afrikaans university.
Okay. So considering that you guys both, your first languages are English, there is this notion from back in the day that, like, or not a notion, but most colored parents used to send their children to English schools because they thought it was better. And that doesn't mean that Afrikaans is bad, but how do you guys feel about it? Because I've heard that conversation countless times in our community. How do you guys feel about it?
I'd like to answer that with, because I grew up in the apartheid era, and when it was the struggle for eliminating apartheid, we grew up believing that the Afrikaans language was the language of the oppressor.
Yeah.
So this is why most parents chose to send their children to English schools. And I don't think that is true today, because I'm grateful that I'm able to speak Afrikaans and relate to others in their home language.
Nuran, how do you feel about it? Because you were nodding your head, so it meant like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm grateful enough to have learned English, since today it's like the most common language we get here. Everyone speaks in English. But also, I'm glad that I understand Afrikaans. And I feel like on a level, it's kind of building a connection or a form of communication with the next person that does speak Afrikaans. I can understand what they are saying, and I could answer back to them as best as I can.
So, Constance, you were saying that during apartheid, a lot of people believed that Afrikaans was the white people's language, the oppressor's language. Do you think that people should be, you too, Nuran, do you think that people should get more educated, especially the colored community? Because white Afrikaans and colored Afrikaans, I think, is very obviously different from each other. Do you think that people should be clued up and they should know the history behind the Afrikaans? Because even us as English-speaking people, we sneak Afrikaans into every sentence, into every conversation. So do you think people should be a little more educated? and how can we maybe get educated?
I would most definitely think education on the topic would be important, but I'm not sure how this generation will actually embrace that. But it could be quite important because sometimes we have misconceptions of where a language originates from, or we might not be right.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I think it's very important for us to know our heritage
Yeah.
and where we come from and why we know certain things that we know now. I think that is very important. So knowing a bit of history, I think is important just for us to build and move on from there.
I think that's also important because there's this notion that we don't have culture as colored people.
Yeah.
It's a big thing because when it comes to Heritage Day, then people don't know what to dress up as and they don't know how to act. But clearly, if we have this education, like you said, we have our heritage. You telling us now like it's important to be educated. So now on to this. You know, our mothers and our fathers always said that one Afrikaans thing that just sticks in your head. So what is your favorite catchphrase or word in Afrikaans that like has just always stuck with you? Like something you just enjoy? Would you like to go first?
I don't know if it's really Afrikaans because my mom used to make up her own words. But she used to tell me, "Jy bly isie grimmig." And apparently that means irritating. But that was the word she used to use. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's her Afrikaans word.
Okay. I don't think I've heard that one. What about you?
One of my favorites is actually, I like the word slap chips. It just reminds me of like a Friday night. And when your parents are like, no, we're not going to make food tonight because you're going to have slap chips. That's one of my favorites.
Notice how there's an English and Afrikaans word
mixed together, yes.
You see? But we're going to go to the streets of Rondebosch to ask what are their favorite Afrikaans words and phrases.
What is your favorite Afrikaans phrase?
My favorite word is.
My favorite Afrikaans word is tafel.
Scanner.
Deeper balls or dance.
Can you repeat that again?
Moenie jella van tips.
Lions.
Yes.
Yes.
Lekker.
Lekker. Do you use Afrikaans a lot?
Sometimes, yes. Hardly even know it. The only words I know are swear words. Yeah.
In my language, it's also called tafel as well.
Okay.
So I can use it interchangeable.
Oh, that's very good. That first word you say. You enjoy the tea.
Yes, I do enjoy the tea. I don't know, it just gives, you'll face the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't know about Afrikaans, but I do remember one phrase word I heard from my friend whose Afrikaans is bloem, which means flower in Afrikaans.
Me and my girlfriend, we say something sweet to each other and then we say lions afterwards to tease each other.
And that's very sweet. That's very sweet.
Moenie jella van tips. Moenie jella, but it's moenie jella van tips.
What would that mean in English for
Means-
someone who doesn't know?
It means don't be jealous. Take advice or take tips.
Okay, I think that one's quite educational. I thought it was going to be a bit more spicy, but thank you.
What's some insight and what's some interesting words to say the least? When we come back, we are going to play a little game with our guests over here. And now we are going to go to a break.
Oh my gosh, that's nostalgic.
What was he called again? Is that still a thing?
I remember those ages.
When last?
Oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Oh my gosh, that's nostalgic.
What was he called again? Is that still a thing?
I remember those ages.
When last?
Oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Welcome back to the Mandela Effect here with your host, Sarah Brito. And we are still here with Nuran and Constance. And we're going to play a little game called, what is that called again? Basically, each one has 30 seconds to explain to us what this thing is, and we have to guess what it is. Does anyone want to go first, or should I go first? Just to help you guys out.
You go
Yeah, go
first.
first.
I'm going to try my best. We have 30 seconds. And I'm going to choose one. Hold on. I think I'm going to choose one. Okay. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. So what is the Afrikaans word for slingshot?
Oh.
Must tell me if I must skip.
Go.
Must I skip? You used to get DVDs from this place. You rent it.
That TV place. What's it called? TV. No
Video
man.
shop.
Almost there. It has not Mrs. but
Mr. Video.
there we
Mr.
go. It's a show about monsters on the street, but we have a different word name for the show. It's Sesame Street, but not Sesame. It's called something-
Takanari Sesame.
There we
Takanari
go.
Sesame.
We used it at the World Cup for sound.
Oh, Vuvuzela.
Yay! Okay, and then we're gonna go back to the first one. What's the Afrikaans word for a slingshot? You know what it is, man, guys.
No, we
I just
don't.
hear slankos in my head.
And time is up. It's a kitty.
Oh!
It's a kitty. So I also didn't know that a kitty was called a slingshot because I thought it was just a kitty. Who would like to go next? You may pick one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, do you understand what we need to do, Constance?
So I need to explain and you guys are going
Yeah.
to guess.
Okay.
Okay, we can start.
Oh,
in,
you can't cheat.
we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, she was a famous South African singer. She is African and she died.
Young or old?
Brenda
Jessie.
Fassie.
Yes.
Yay!
We used to have these. They're similar to the sucker, the lollies that we have. But you
A
they're in
panele.
Bumpy.
No, a bomb. Okay. Gosh, this is a weird one. We no longer use this when we need to find someone's telephone number and address. We used to go and
The
look in
Yellow
there.
Pages.
Yes!
And then our favorite drink to make it's like
Time's up! Oh no! What was the last
Well,
thing?
it was a drinker pop. I was gonna
I've never had
with a
drink
shirt,
pop, guys.
yeah, with a,
Isn't it like Kool-Aid? What
it's
do
like
Americans call it?
Kool-Aid
Yes.
and all those. Yeah.
Okay, you may pick the last two.
This one.
Okay. You got it?
Oh, okay.
Are you ready? Are you stressed?
No.
Okay. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1.
So it's one of those apps used back in the day to talk to one another. Like you'd have your own. No. You had your own username back in the day.
But
Mix it.
Yes. He was a famous rugby player for
How many
the
years?
Springboks.
not anymore, no?
No, he retired not too long ago.
Gosh,
Brian
I know.
Banner.
Yes.
Yeah, babies.
I don't know who this is. I'm gonna go to the next one. It's a famous
Oh no, we have 3 seconds.
it's a famous magazine in South Africa.
You have 30 seconds. What was the... Let's
Yeah.
try and get the last one. What's the last one?
Johnny Clegg. And
You don't know who Johnny Clegg is.
and the You magazine.
You know,
Yeah.
guys, you magazines are 40 rand now.
I don't buy them anymore.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Everything's online.
So we have one last round. Am I doing it or are you guys doing it?
You
do
can
it.
do
Am
it.
I doing it? Okay. We have 3 seconds. We are going to get into it now in 3, 2, 1. You get it by the corner shop. It's gum, but it has like
Chappies.
little yes. In the early 2010s, it was like the only phone that we could have before touchscreens.
Motorola.
No.
Blackberry.
Yes,
Blackberry.
yes. Here we go. She was the first South African artist to win a Grammy.
Tyler.
No, there was one before her. Old woman. I can't even tell you what her name starts with.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word! 30 seconds are up. Can you maybe think of who it was?
Oh, is it
You do know who it is.
I think I
Constance.
know who it is, man. I can't get to a name now though.
That's Marie
Maria McKenna. Yes, that was what I was gonna say. I just couldn't get to
Maybe
a
I'll
name.
try and do the last one because I haven't seen one of those in like a long time. It's a. Oh, this is gonna give it away if I say it like this. It's a sit-down restaurant, but it specializes in desserts. They used to have one at
Milky Lane.
yeah. They used to have one at Grand West, I think, and I think they still do, but they used to do the waffles with the islands and stuff on. It's not the same. It's not the same. What is your favorite Milky Lane ice cream? Like, when last have you been?
I haven't been in a long time, but my favorite used to be that when they dip it in the caramel. Oh, I love it.
What about you, Nuran?
I like a cone with all the sprinkles on.
Oh, you were simple girl. Okay, you
Yes.
keep it simple. Is there any parting words you would like to say with anyone of the audience? On the spot, sorry. Anything to the young South Africans out there that maybe want to start speaking Afrikaans after today's show?
Julle moet almal 'n lieflike dag hê en probeer gerus om Afrikaans te gesels.
Nuran, would you like to say?
Praat meer Afrikaans, mense.
I can't speak Afrikaans after you guys. I can't bored of you guys. But that's it for today's show. Be back with us next week for our next segment on Xhosa. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoyed our guests, Nuran and Constance. Until next time. Bye.